Hey everybody, welcome to today's video. In today's video, we're going to go breaking down the pairs, how we anticipate them to play out during this coming month. Obviously, as we understand, the month has just ended, so new monthly closures. We need to see what happened in the previous month, the momentum that the markets had, so that we can actually anticipate what's most likely going to happen in the coming month. So if that sounds interesting to you, please do stick with us until the end. Don't forget to subscribe, share, and let a few friends know that you believe will find value in this video. Cool. So we're going to start with DXY. Obviously, we understand the US dollar is one of the currency pairs that runs the market, if you will, until now, obviously. But as we understand what's happening with the US dollar, most likely it's not going to be doing that for long. So we should, use it while we still can. So for the US dollar right now, currently we can see prices are kind of pushing lower, right? So last month, the trend, if we look at the overall trends, we can see the trend is still bullish, right? The trend is overall bullish, but prices right now are approaching this kind of support structure here. We can see this was the major resistance structure, major support structure, where prices were approaching. And so far, they have not yet broken this structure. So we can't really say that prices are now in a bearish trend because prices are still above this structure. So it counts. That means there's still a possibility where prices can still take off from this market structure here, right? So with that being said, obviously the trend is still bullish. So we need to go to the lower time frames and see what's really popping down there, right? What's really happening. Okay. So this is from the weekly perspective. Man, it's kind of windy where I'm at. I hope the audio is okay. So this is based off the weekly perspective. Obviously, we understand that we had this head and shoulders pattern. This was the left shoulder. We had this as the left shoulder. We had the head. And we had the right shoulder, obviously. Now, prices have not yet broken the neckline, so the pattern isn't complete. It's a great potential pattern, but the neckline hasn't been broken yet. And as long as the neckline hasn't been broken, the pattern isn't complete. That's what a lot of people fail to understand while trading the head and shoulders pattern. The pattern is never complete until the structure is broken, until the neckline is broken. Currently, the neckline isn't broken yet, so we can't really consider it complete. It's still a potential pattern. Now, prices are on this support level. Obviously, if we zoom in, we can actually see that for the past 2 weeks, the market were on this support structure, but they didn't really have that much momentum. Last week, prices closed with the doji. The last week, prices closed with the hanging man. All of these are reversal patterns. And there are also patterns which indicate a lack of momentum. Given that we're coming from a bearish momentum and these candles printing on a support structure, there's a very high possibility that we might be seeing prices take off from here. There's a very high probability for this happening because prices don't have momentum now. And the structure that they're on is a very strong structure. Obviously, as you've seen, is from the monthly perspective, is from the monthly support structure. And with this momentum, it will be very hard to break this structure, right? So what I'm anticipating for the coming weeks is for prices to actually push higher a bit. And then after prices push higher, should prices maybe find a structure, maybe here, if prices come and find structure here or find resistance and come back down here to break this structure, then we might be looking for possible sells. But currently, we can't take any sells because there is no volume, there's no momentum in the market. So for the coming week, the coming month, if you will, I'll be anticipating to see prices take off, push higher, and then from there, yeah, we'll see how it goes. We take it 15 miles at a time, Van Diesel style. So cool. This is from the daily perspective. Obviously, we are seeing a lot of ranges. Now, if we look at it from the 4-hour perspective, we can actually see what's really happening. We see here prices are coming back. They were coming lower, creating lower lows with the solid bearish momentum until they reached somewhere here. And then they started losing that more. You can see the steep. It was very steep here. And then it started losing its slope. It started losing its slope, right? And then you can see until here, prices are almost horizontal. So that indicates there really is no momentum in the market right now for the bears to keep on pushing. So what we should be anticipating, obviously, as we know, we're going to put in that arc pattern. So this is what I'm anticipating to be happening. Excuse me. This is what I'm anticipating prices to do, or prices to play out. Obviously, this is the low. So I'll be anticipating to see prices start take off and create higher highs in order to, you know, fill this ball pattern here, right? So obviously, my next trades will be looking for prices to push higher until they reach die patterns. They reach die highs. That's the move that I'll be anticipating to happen on DXY, a bullish move. Now, let's go to its rival, or what we so-call JPYX. Woof, look at this thing. I mean, last week, JPYX was dropping like crazy. We can see here from the daily perspective. Let's take it from the weekly. From the weekly, we can see prices created here some kind of a double top, and then prices just broke the neckline. Now, when we talk about patterns, this is what we mean when the pattern is complete. When the neckline is actually broken, that's when the pattern is complete. As we can see here, the neckline is actually broken and prices have broken and closed below this market structure. Now with this, here we say that this pattern is indeed complete. Now, after a double top is broken like that, what we should be anticipating is for prices to retrace on this neckline before we actually look for prices, you know, to give us confirmations to keep on selling lower. So JPYX is obviously inversely correlated to DXY. And since JPYX is very bearish right now, that just gives me a go ahead with my bullish perspective on the DXY, right? So pair correlation also helps you analyze if you really know how to correlate them nicely. So yeah, guys, you need to learn about pair correlation. If you still don't know, or you don't have a good understanding about it, I created a video about it, I think a while ago. You can look at it through my history. You'll find it there. You'll have a better understanding on pair correlations. So JPYX will be anticipating to see prices fall for the coming month, whereas DXY will be anticipating prices to take off. So yeah. Now, what does that imply on the pairs, on the currency pairs? That implies that on USD JPY, on this baby right here, we'll be anticipating to see buys. So right now, I'm just going to take it real fast because we obviously have already covered almost everything. Yeah, you know, when I cover DXY and JPYX, I've just covered everything. So we're just going to put a pedal to the metal and let it ride. So USD JPY, we're just gonna let it fly. Obviously, you can see this beautiful break and retest on this trend line. So we are obviously going to let it fly. That's the perspective we have on USD JPY. Euro USD, from the weekly perspective, we are seeing prices are losing momentum. And this is from the monthly perspective, where prices have actually broken this trend line and now they're on the retest structure. So now we'll be anticipating to see prices push lower, obviously because inversely correlated to DXY. So we should be seeing prices push lower. Same thing with GU. Prices are now on this support structure. This is from the monthly perspective. So we should be anticipating to see prices push lower. Gold, obviously inversely correlated to DXY, and prices you can see right now are on this sensitive market part here, on this sensitive structure. All of these I'm covering from the monthly perspective. Obviously, entries are not taken from the monthly perspective, so you need to be really careful while looking for entries on the lower time frames. Make sure where you're entering is the most accurate place you can. We'll be looking for sales on gold, obviously. Eurojpy, obviously, buys, major buys. Eurojpy, it's major buys. If you want to know where to enter in the markets, you can actually learn that from my course that's linked in the description. You'll get everything you want to know about Forex, from what is Forex all the way to the advanced topics. Right? So that's a retest, and then prices, we'll be looking for, you know, prices to push higher until they reach die high. As obviously you can see on the left-hand side, we clearly have very little resistance, which was somewhere down here, which was actually, you know, taken out by this momentum. So right now we don't have any resistance up front, but on the background we have a weak resistance. So yeah, but overall, this is the move that we should be anticipating on Eurojpy. Cadjpy, man, this thing is obviously bullish. Prices just took out this high and created a higher high. So we should be anticipating to see prices push higher all the way until they reach somewhere up here. On the lower time frames, you can see this is the daily. Prices are still on this support structure here. So our entry points will be, once prices break above here, we'll be looking for a retest before we get that continuation. And if we go even on the lower time frames, now should prices decide to bounce off that structure and kind of pull back, we'll be looking for entries on even lower prices somewhere down here, which will actually give us better entry points and more profits somewhere down there and push high. So yeah, I think that's it, as we've covered all the pairs. So as far as all the pairs goes, guys, these are the moves that I'll be anticipating. Obviously, from our back testing, we understand that May is the best performing month for our strategy. So next month, I anticipate to make bank, guys. If you're not in our free Telegram channel, where I always post updates on the setups, be sure to join, because you don't want to miss that out. And until next time, guys, I appreciate you. Thank you for subscribing. Thank you for, you know, liking and sharing with a few friends. Till next time, guys, this was Black. Take it easy out there. Peace.